Plate tectonics
by Ayden and Julia.
Plate tectonics is the theory that Earth's outer shell is divided into several plates that glide over the mantle, the rocky inner layer above the core.
Here you can see the major plate tectonics of the world. Continental versus oceanic crust. These two types of crust are very different. For example, oceanic crust is thinner but more dense. It also subducts under continental crust. Oceanic crust is basalt. Continental crust is thicker but less dense and goes over oceanic crust. Continental crusts are made of granite.
Divergent boundaries. These boundaries spread apart while magma flows out. This creates ridges, such as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
Divergent boundary, oceanic crust. At these spots, ridges are found. Some of the geologic phenomenon found are the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, earthquakes, and volcanoes. The important geographic location is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
Divergent boundary and continental crusts. At divergent continental crusts, you will find rift valleys. These valleys cause earthquakes and volcanoes. You can find these valleys in places like Iceland and Africa. Convergent boundary, continental collision. In these boundaries, mountains are forming. Where mountains are forming, there are often earthquakes. Europe and the North American Alps are locations where you can find these boundaries.
Convergent boundary, oceanic continental collision. Where convergent boundary, oceanic continental collisions are found, there is subduction of oceanic plates. Mountains and volcanoes occur here. These are found in locations such as on the Caribbean plate.
Convergent boundary, oceanic collision. Subduction, trenches, and lines of volcanic islands are found in OO collisions. For example, you can find these in the Aleutian Islands and Indonesian islands.
Subduction and density. Subduction is a process where convergent boundaries by which one tectonic plate moves under another tectonic plate and sinks to the mantle as plates converge.
Density affects subduction because the more dense plates sink under the less dense plates. Transform boundaries. When two plates slide past each other in opposite directions, it is known as a transform boundary. An example of this is the San Andreas Fault.
Convection currents and plate tectonics. Convection currents are when plates go through a cycle of heating, rising, cooling, and lastly sinking.